die Verbrennung der Amerikaner.
Beautiful mates of YouTube, Aussie Marcel here, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on Bentley for Men Intense. But before I do that, I'm just going to read some more poetry from Wilderness, The Lost Writings of Jim Morrison. This poem does not have a title. Moment of freedom as the prisoner blinks in the sun like a mole from his hole. The child's first trip away from home. That moment of freedom. What an icon. Bentley for Men Intense. What a fragrance. I'm wearing it right now. I really wanted to do a unboxing and first impressions video of this one, but I couldn't help myself. I wore this after I showered last night, and what an experience it was. What I love most about this scent is how absolutely decadent it is. It has a warmth and a boozy quality to it that just immediately brings to mind James Bond. That was the first thing that I thought of when I smelt Bentley for Men Intense. And the second thing I thought of was how many similarities it shares with another fragrance, and that is Encre Noir by Lalique. Now, these two fragrances are not identical to one another, they're quite different. However, they both share this piney, pine needle, coniferous note that is just really front and center for both of these fragrances. They're both exceptionally woody as well. They both have this dark wood note somewhere inside there, although I would say that the dark woody note is more pronounced in Encre Noir than it is in Bentley for Men Intense. Where that fragrance is exceptionally dark and woody with that piney, camphorous quality to it, Bentley for Men Intense is warm, inviting, and it has this boozy, luxurious quality to it. Performance, in my experience, in my limited experience with the fragrance, is pretty exceptional as well. I mean, I put this on after I showered last night, and when I went to bed at around 12:30 in the morning, somewhere in that sort of region, I could still smell this very strongly, and I got it over like my doona cover, and it was like being nursed to sleep by this beautiful, warm, rummy note. It's quite divine, quite decadent. It's a very warming fragrance. That's probably the biggest quality here, is the warming factor, and I do attribute that to the boozy rum note. There is also a touch of smoke and a touch of leather in this one as well. I get both of those in relatively small measure, but they are there. They do make themselves known as the fragrance dries down a little bit, but I wouldn't call this a leathery scent. I wouldn't call this an overly smoky scent. Those are background players, and the foreground is dominated by that rummy, warm booze note. Pricing about $70 to $80 Australian, so it's in the similar sort of territory with Bentley for Men Absolute. And at that price point, it does have some competitors, it does have some competition. Club Black has a similar warm quality to it, although this is a much more ambery, vanilla-based fragrance, whereas this is definitely on the boozy or woodier side. Other sort of fragrances that are loosely comparable to Bentley for Men Intense: Hugo Boss The Scent, Carolina Herrera's Bad Boy, the EDT, Zadig and Voltaire Just Rock. None of those fragrances are like for like, but they are in a similar sort of warmish, masculine territory. Despite how boozy this scent is, I do believe there is a lot of mass appeal to this one as well. Another fragrance Bentley for Men Intense is similar to is Eternity for Men Parfum. This also has a rummy note. In fact, what I would say is that between these three scents, there are a lot of similarities here. Mercedes-Benz Club Black, Bentley for Men Intense, and Eternity Parfum. There is a lot of similarities. Bentley for Men Intense is sort of like taking Eternity for Men Parfum and Mercedes-Benz Club Black and creating a hybrid between the two. Although Bentley for Men Intense does not have the vanilla note, at least not to my nose it doesn't. for the money, what you get with Bentley for Men Intense, here in Australia at least, for that $80 price point, you get a great smelling fragrance, you get a great performing fragrance, and something that projects pretty decently as well. There are a lot of fragrances out there that you can spend $80 on that are significantly worse than Bentley for Men Intense. So my recommendation is that if you're looking for a fall winter fragrance, something that's long lasting, smells incredible, smells niche quality even, that doesn't smell like everything else out there, maybe Bentley for Men Intense is for you. I just can't get over the fact how similar the piney notes are between these two fragrances. Maybe you guys don't get that, but to my nose there is just such an obvious pine note here. It's actually kind of crazy to me. Yeah, they both share this piney woodiness. Although they do smell different, there is like a definite similarity between these two. I'm actually genuinely curious what you guys think about the similarity between these two fragrances. Do you think they're similar? Do you think they're different? They both come in at a similar price point as well. If I had to only pick one, Encre Noir or Bentley for Men Intense, that is a tough decision. And both cold weather scents, both very masculine. I would say Encre Noir is the more unisex of the two. It doesn't smell overly masculine to me, whereas Bentley for Men Intense does smell very masculine. It does have that masculinity to it. My take is that if you're looking at both of these scents, but you can only afford one of them, or if you only want one of them, if you want something more masculine, go with Bentley for Men Intense. If you want something more androgynous, more ambiguous, more unisex, go with Encre Noir. Bentley for Men Intense though is the more mass appealing of the two, so do take that into consideration. Anyways, if you've ever worn Bentley for Men Intense before, let me know in the comments below. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. And until the next video, my name is Aussie Marcel, and I'll catch you guys around.